So what I'd like to do in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so is walk through a journey of a container as it arrives at port through the final delivery to your warehouse, and talk about how our technology is powering each step of that journey. And I think what's really unique and powerful ultimately about the technology we're building is that it brings these different parties together into a consolidated, centralized ecosystem of technology that makes collaboration and communication easy. And so we're going to look at a few different stakeholders in this process. On the far left is you. It's executives, logistics managers, supply chain professionals using the Flexport platform to manage your supply chain and the shipments you're moving with Flexport. We then have receiving warehouses, warehouse operators and staff using our newly built warehouse app to have visibility into incoming freight and to better coordinate what's happening on the ground. We have our trucking partners using our trucking platform to manage everything there is to do with a Flexport shipment. And we even have the men and women behind the wheel who are moving your freight, our truck drivers, using a mobile app to keep everyone informed. So before this container even arrives at port, a trucking partner has digitally accepted a delivery order, and they're preparing to pick up your container. Because Flexport is integrated with terminal operators around the world, we know when that vessel is arriving, we know when the container is available for pickup, we know the last free day, as does everyone involved with moving your freight. So that trucking company will know the optimal time to make that pickup. Using our trucking platform, they can schedule pickups, schedule deliveries. They can even file exceptions and upload images to keep everyone informed of what's happening. Your receiving warehouse, using our newly built warehouse app that we just launched 2 months ago, can schedule the delivery time based on their staffing considerations, capacity constraints, whatever matters to them. All that information is fed directly to the trucking platform, so you have seamless coordination. There's no more picking up the phone or trying to figure out who to email. It's all there in line, contextualized to the people that can make decisions on the ground. So we just built this, launched it 2 months ago. We already have over 30% of our global ocean volume flowing through it. Many of our largest clients are using it. And so we're really excited, and we'll talk a little bit about this more. Now the driver arrives at port to pick up the container. As soon as they do, they'll confirm that pickup using our mobile app for drivers. And they'll also indicate whether they're making a pre-pull to pull it back to their yard or if they're delivering it directly to the customer, so everyone knows what to expect next. Here's where things can often get tricky. We have a receiving warehouse who's waiting for freight, juggling a lot of different variables on the ground. And this process is difficult. If you spent time in a warehouse, you are not operating with perfect information typically. And this reminds me of an experience I think we've all had at one point. So raise your hand if you've ever called a taxi company to schedule a cab to pick you up to take you to the airport. Years ago, right. Ideally, you haven't done this recently. Now raise your hand if you've used a ride-hailing app to do the same thing. Okay. It's a lot better experience, right? Is there anything worse than waiting by the door with your suitcase trying to make a flight? You don't know when the taxi's coming. It's a pretty bad experience. And this is why ride-hailing apps are so popular, right? With a click of the button, you get predictability, you have visibility, you see that driver approaching you. And I'm someone who hates to miss a flight. It's an anxiety-inducing experience to not know if you're going to get that ride in time. And this is why these things have taken off. And so we think freight should work the same way. You should have that level of predictability and visibility. And your team on the ground managing your warehouse certainly should. So we're super excited to show you something that we've been working on for the last few months that we're excited to launch in the next couple of months and get it into the hands of as many customers as possible over the course of the next quarter. And that's a live map for your freight. So what you're looking at here is a bird's eye view of multiple shipments moving to multiple locations. Here you're zoomed up on an individual shipment. You can see the delivery order, the metadata associated with that shipment all in line. So your warehouse staff has all of their information that they need at their fingertips. You can track the real-time location, and you'll have an ETA that's continually updated based on the status, the location of your freight. Pretty cool, huh? When that driver does arrive at the warehouse, using that same mobile app, they'll confirm the delivery. They'll then collect a signature on the proof of delivery, but then they'll take a photo of that proof of delivery using our app. It's available within seconds instead of days or weeks. Of course, our customers want to be informed along the way. They don't want to have to do the work. You're the client after all, but you should have perfect information throughout this process. So all of the information we've talked about, the schedules for the pickups, for the deliveries, all of the documents, images, any exceptions that are filed are all available for you using the Flexport platform.